At the end of the order phase, the Grey Knights have come on to help out their beleaguered Imperial allies. So the Thunderhawk with the Vanguard squad and the Purifiers are coming in over there. Whole bunch of Grey Knights in the battalion have dropped down, basically enveloping Squiggoth and all these little guys here. See the massive units over here. The Storm Ravens are coming on over here. Now, for the rule of cool, we allowed the Flyers to come on as reserves in this game. I don't know if they can in typical games, so just keep that in mind as you're watching this. And then all the orders have been placed, so we're ready to go. Andrew does have the initiative, but we're going to reveal the orders and find out what we're doing. Orders have been revealed. So the Super Heavies over here, they're just going to advance. The Sisters of Battle are doing the same. The Storm Ravens here are going to go into hover mode and take aim. The Grey Knights are all going to assault in. We got some more advancing Orks over here, the Squiggoth Commandos, and the Thunderhawk is going to go into hover mode and take aim as well. And then the Space Marines are just going to advance. So there we go. So we're going to move into the action phase.
Okay.
Andrew's going to use Medicaid supplies on the Warbikers to get D3 damage markers removed. So go ahead and roll that.
Go right here.
Yep. So we're going to get 2 markers removed, so they're back up to full strength. Good for them. Flash Kids over here are going to use their competitive streak.
The Spearhead's freebooters.
Yep. And the spear, or sorry, not the Flash Kids, the freebooters.
Yeah.
So basically, what's going to happen is the one part of their detachment is going to shoot. Anything it puts a damage marker on is going to grant the rest of that detachment rerolls on for attacks. So for the other freebooters.
Yeah.
So basically, one freebooter would probably like your commander and then the other guys.
Yeah.
So that's basically what's going to happen. The Spearhead detachment, or the super, whatever detachment this is moved around a little bit, and the Ludas are going to shoot into one of the Storm Ravens?
Yeah.
Which one?
The lead one.
The lead one?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Shoot into that. That's, okay, I see 3 hits.
8, 12, and 2.
Supercharged Mega Blaster going into this fella right here, getting rerolls because it's a freebooter. Sat 5, that's going to hit.
5 because it's super.
So you need 6. It's still Sat 5 though.
Okay.
6. So 6, so it becomes a 7. So that is going to be a small template. Mega Zappa. And that's going to be
3 rolls.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. No hits, but no supercharged issues either. Nothing. Rerolls. Sat 7. 1 hit. Big shooters into the Dominion squad. 5 d7s. Alright, so that's 1 hit. Let's roll a d12 for that.
Sorry, I forgot.
Firing at this Dominion squad over here, starting with the Gatling.
Yeah.
So needing 5s, 8 shots. I see at least 1, 2, 3 hits. And that's 1 large one. Shoot us into the sister squad in the back there. Needing 5s.
Yep.
So I see 2 hits, or sorry, SAP 7.
SAP 7.
So missing rockets into the lead Storm Raven right there.
So I'll get rerolls on this one.
Yep. So needing 5s, 1 hit. Need 7s. And nothing into the Immolator, 6 shots. What are you hitting on?
I'm hitting on 4s.
Wonderful. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4.
1's rerolled because of Badrick.
Okay, reroll that one. So 5. Okay, excellent. So I think they all hit actually. So I see
Badrock
1
into the Storm Raven.
So I need a 4.
Needs a 4 to hit. That's gonna hit.
Awaken firing into the larger squad of sisters there. What are you starting with?
I'm firing with the big shooters.
Okay, hitting on 5s.
5s, yeah.
I see 2 hits. 7.
7.
So that's going to be 1 going in as well, needing a 5.
Yeah.
Kill cannon, 2 shots going into the Storm Raven there.
Needing 5s.
Yeah.
So I see
Reroll
no
for the
hits. Flash kit stuff.
1.
Okay, or freebooter stuff rather. So 1 hits.
Yeah.
So this is a SAT what?
6.
SAT 6. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and throw that die down.
2 melee attacks into the Immolator there.
So these are going to be hitting on 3s.
Yeah, hitting on 3s.
Hitting 5s to hit.
Yeah.
And that's another large one. That's everything for the Spearhead. I'm going to activate the Grey Knight Battalion here, and they are just assaulting. So basically, they're going to just... So Andrew's going to seize the initiative, it looks like, which basically means he gets to basically act before I do here. So I gotta say, given the nature of this game, I'm not a big fan of that card. Even with it being used against me, it's just, I don't know, it seems to disrupt the flow a lot. But
so Andrew's going to activate
the super heavy. So Beastie's going to get in there and get within 1 inch of the attack squad and Guilliman there. And then the Stompa and the tank are actually just going to sit there and unload a whole bunch of DACA because that's what they do. It does have Stampede, so on a 2+, a small marker is going to be against the Marines here, and on a 4+, Guilliman.
This is the Marines.
Okay. So yep, that's a small marker.
Okay.
And against Gilmon, no kill tank is going to fire into the hovering Thunderhawk. Rockets needing 4s to hit. 7. Ooh. And only one.
First cannon, I need a 4 to hit.
Okay, 4s to hit. And nothing. Got left from the Stompa into the Seraphim. 6 shots into the Seraphim. Go ahead, needing 5. 12 shots.
Oh, wait.
So there we go. And that could have been a little bit. So big shooters going into the Seraphim as well.
Yeah.
2. So needing 7s.
Nope.
Scorcha into the Devastator. 7 up to wound. Yep. Last 2 missiles from the Stompa going into the Thunderhawk. 1 hit. Oh, 2 more. And Death Cannon into the Thunderhawk.
Yeah.
And nothing.
1.
Oh, 1 hit. Yeah, that's a stat 5, so that's gonna. Ganchu and Squiggoth, 2 attacks on the attack squad, and the remaining 4 onto Gilmon. 3s to hit against the attack squad. 4 plus to wound.
And it's a destroyer.
Yep. 4 plus to wound. 4 on the Bobby G, eating 3s. Eating 6s against Bobby G. So that's both going to hit. So that's basically going to be 2 large markers. Plan. The Grey Knight Battalion is now going to. The battalion has moved up, getting into the command. Or what are these guys? These Rocket Boys?
Storm Boys.
Storm Boys there. The interceptors, basically triple thing. We got the weight or the truck over here. We got the Gargantuan Squiggoth and the Storm Boys. This Strike Squad into the Storm Boys. Drago into the little Squiggoth here. This Dread Knight into the Gargantuan Squiggoth. These guys have just sort of moved up. And yeah, so these Terminators, Giant Squiggoth, and unfortunately I kind of screwed myself over here. He is not able to actually move within command, so I might be losing him to a route test at the end of this turn. In addition, I'm going to be using both Blood and Guts and Hammer Hand. So Blood and Guts basically allows me to reroll hit rolls of 1 for attacks made by units in this detachment, and then Hammer Hand, I basically add 1 to the wound rolls with melee weapons. Basically, is it just 1 unit? Yeah, 1 friendly Grey Knight unit. So you know what? I'm going to choose this Dread Knight right here, I think. No, I'm going to choose these Terminators right here, because the Dread Knight probably won't have too hard of a time getting in against the Squiggoth there. I'm also going to use Smite and Vortex of Doom. So a couple psychic abilities here. So the Vortex of Doom, basically, I select one of my Grey Knight Psychers from my army to manifest the power and roll a d12. And the Interceptor's going to use it against the Squiggoth here. So on a 5 to 9, it's 2 markers. On a 10 plus, it's going to be more than that. So that's an 8. So and 2 small markers. Something similar, basically. On a 2 plus, it's 2 blast markers. On a 7 plus, it's going to be. On a 2 plus, it's 1. On a 7 plus, it's going to be 2. And once again, I'm going to put it on. We're going to get only 1 more, but it's going to transform one of these into an attack into the Squiggoth, hitting on a 2 and wounding on a 6. So I'm just going to roll these together. So that is a hit and a wound. And because it's Destroyer, it's going to be 2 small temp. Roll this against the Storm Boys. It's going to be needing a 2 and a 7 to do anything against them. So it's going to be 2, and that's cocked. Terminators into the Storm Boys, needing 3s. That's 1 hit, 6s. And oh, jeez. Interceptors, 2 attacks into the Storm Boys, needing 3s and 6s. So that is going to be 1 hit. And 2 attacks with the Dread Knight into the Squiggoth, needing 3s. So that's both going to hit, and needing 5s to wound it. Okay, there we go. There's another large one. Double the attack, so I got 2 more attacks from these Terminators into the Storm Boys. So 2 hits. These Terminators into the Squiggoth, needing 3s and 7s. Oh, actually 6s because of the Hammer Hand. So let's see, that's going to be 4 hits. So that's 3. So that's going to be another large and another large, because he's got 1 little, so he's 4 larges on there. The Grey Knight. So unfortunately, I didn't quite do as much as I really wanted to. Did a little bit of damage over here. Virtually nothing against the Storm Boys, which was friggin' redonkulous. But at least I got a bunch of wounds on the big Squiggoth there. So yeah, not too bad. Tank Quest is in this truck, going to go into the Thunderhawk with 4 shots. 5s to hit? Yeah. Okay. And I see reroll for the vehicle. Yeah. 7s to wound. 2 hit. Big shooter from the truck into the Storm. 5s to hit. Thunder. 1 hit. And what are you wounded on?
I need a 9.
Okay. 4 shots from these tank busters into the 5 to hit. And I see reroll all of those.
Yeah.
And I see 4. Knock into the interceptors. 1 attack. And now Storm Boy is going to attack Voldus. Hit. 4 attack. 3 hits. No, 2 hits. Sorry. And that's going to be a large. Squiggoth's going to punch Drago with 2 attacks.
I need to get 4.
4 and 6s. So 1 hit. So go ahead and roll that damage. And that is. And with Andrew done with the Orks, going to move on to my next activation, and we're going to go with the Sisters of Battle on this one and see what we can do. So this Immolator has moved out of combat, allowed the Dominions with melt guns to get nice and close over here. These Sisters, oh, forgot to move them. They're actually just going to move up here and get within rapid fire range. I'll finish that off in a moment. This Sister Squad has moved out of combat. The Canoness, however, has charged in, and these Seraphim over here are going to get into position and go after those Knob Bikers. And then over here, the Dominions have repositioned so they can look at this Spearhead detachment here. And that critically wounded Immolator is going to be looking at this Spearhead detachment as well. And that is pretty much the movement for the Sisters. So this Dominion squad start firing on your, what's that thing called again? Mecha Dread?
Mecha Dread, yeah.
Mecha Dread. Needing 3s to hit it. And that's a 5-1-3, so 2 hits. 7, but +1 due to the custom force field, or -1, or whatever it is. So basically, I'm looking for 8s. So that is a 6 and a 2. So absolutely nothing. So the rapid firing bolter is going to hit, and this one is needing something silly. Yeah, neither of those are going to hit. Sisters that is critically injured. They're going to fire into these this unit as well. 2 shots, but they're going to need 4s to hit. And looking for a 10 to wound. 4 melta guns into the battle wagon right here. So needing 3s to hit. And that's going to be 3 hits. And that's a 9 and a 10. So that's 2 hits. So that's 1 large blast. Immolator going to fire into this battle wagon as well. It's only going to get 1 attack because of the critical injury. And it's going to be a miss. 4 shots from the Seraphim into the Knob Bikers. 3s to hit, some's to wound. So that's 1, 2, 2 7s. That's 1 small mark. Going into the Deathcopters, needing a 2 and an 8. So I'm just going to roll these together. And it's going to hit, but it's not going to. Exorcist Tank's going to use its 2 attacks into the Mecha Dread. 3s to hit. So that's 1 hit and 5 to wound, or sorry, 6 to wound rather. Oh, come on! And that will bring it to the end of these Sisters. So once again, a very unimpressive bit of combat from them. So yeah, Andrew's gonna start off. Choose his next attack. Speed Freaks are gonna activate next, and he chose to advance into the Dominions. What are you starting with?
Twin Big Shooter.
Twin Big Shooters. Okay.
Okay, so I need 5s.
All right. Scrapjack using the wing missile into the Dread 5 to hit. That will hit. And the Dread Knight's going to get a rocket cannon from the Scrapjack to hit.
Oh, yeah. No.
Nada. Squig Buggy, I'm going to unload into the Dominions. Shooting.
Oh, I'm using the squig launchers.
Okay. Need 5s. Let's see, a 5, a 6, and a 3. Big Shooter from whatever that wagon is into the Dominions. What's that thing called?
Snaz Wagon.
Snaz Wagon. Needing 5s?
Yep.
That is a 6, so it's going to hit.
And I need a 7.
All right, fire away. Mech Special going into the Dominions as well.
I need 5s.
And that's a 4, 6, and a 6, so 2 hits.
2 hits.
Needing 7s.
1.
Wartrike into the Space Marines. It is critical, so against attack squad. So go ahead and roll that dice.
Yep.
Nothing. That's Deathcopters against the Canoness with 3s.
Wow.
Ouch. Plus 5 hits. And I see 1 wound only. 2 wounds. That's a 9. Yard Snark into the attack. Attacks on 2s. That's 5 and a 5. Wound.
There's 1.
Now Warbreakers into the Seraphim. 2 attacks even on 3. Look at that. 1 and 3. So 1. That's going to wound. Warbreakers into the Seraphim as well with 6 attack. Ooh, that's kind of rough. 7s to wound. No, and that will bring us to the end of that detachment. So it's going to be the Imperium activating next, and it's going to look at the Stomp and try and put some damage on him. So it's going to start with the Turbo Laser. Hits on a 2. That's going to hit, and wounds on a 3. That is going to wound, so it's going to put 2 small blast markers. 4 las cannon shots going into the Stomp as well. Sorry, they're not twin las cannons, so only 2 las cannon shots going into the Stomp. 2s and 5s. So that's going to be hit. And looking for some 5s here. 8 and a 6. So those small templates are going to become large. 8 shots from the twin las cannon, or sorry, the twin side cannons. 4 twin side cannons into the tank buster. And all but 1. So it's going to be 7 hits. 6s to wound because of the custom force field. And there's 1, only 2. That was terrible. And unfortunately, my cluster bomb, because I didn't fly over anything, is going to do nothing. So unfortunately, I'm going to put some hurt on over here. I was hoping to do a little bit more damage against the tank busters here. But such is life, and we're going to move on to Andrew's last activation. Zagstruck and his Storm Boys are going to act. Supreme Command that's activating, but Zagstruck is the only one who's able to actually do something.
Yeah.
So he's just going to come in and have some fun with the Strike Squad here. Strike Squad, 2s and 7s required.
I'll just roll this.
So what do we got?
Didn't
I'm gonna
matter.
activate the Storm Ravens next, and I'm going to see what I can do against your last little spearhead here. Into the Mecha Dread here. So these are hitting on 3s.
Okay.
1 hit. And wounding on 5s, I believe.
That includes the.
Then 6s he'll need. The 7 does now into the same guy here. So once again, needing 3s. So 1 hit. And that's missile launchers into the same guy there. So once again, needing 3s. I'll hit and hit. 7s to wound.
Okay. 6.
And then 6. Hurricane bolters into these Ludus here. So hitting on 3s with 4 shots. So that's going to be 3 hits because of the custom force field. And that'll be one small this one over here. We're going to start with the, you know what? We're going to start with the missile pods against this this guy right. Both hit. Okay. Needing 6s to wound, or 7s rather. Oh, come on! Both going to hit.
Okay.
And because they're useless, the multi-melt it into that thing. 3s to hit. Hurricane Bolter into the Ludus. Maybe I'll actually do something with these guys hitting on 3s. There we go, both are in custom force field. Hey, look at that! Okay, that's a large and a small going on because there's already a small one on there. Because they took aim, that 2 I rolled on the multi-melta is actually going to become a 3. So it is actually going to hit. So one of those multi-melta shots goes through. So that I needed a 4+ and the custom force field makes it a 5. So that is actually going to go through. And that's going to put a large marker on this Mecha. And that'll bring us to the final activation here, which is going to be the Ultramarines Detachment. So we're going to start over here with the Ven Dread, and he's going to fire his Twin Las into the Stompa, and then his Flamer, because Squiggy is a Gargantuan, going to go into him. And within 6 inches of Bobby G, so thankfully that's a reroll. 5s to wound. And 6 inches of Bobby G. There we go. So that's going to be a large against the Squiggy here. So it's just going to be 1 needing something obscenely high. 7, which is not high enough. Bobby G. 3, still not high enough. Going to go into the Stompa here, starting with the Las Cannons. 6 inches of the Captain here, so we're going to get 2 shots. Hitting on 3s. Reroll that 1. There we go, 2 hits. So that is a 6 and a 10.
That's another.
So that is going to be a big next 3s and 6s. So that 2 is not going to do anything, but that 1 is a reroll. So 1 hit, needing a 6. 1 small temp. Fire bolter just for giggles into the Stompa as well. So that's a wound. 9. Yes, that's a 9. 1 attack from the critically injured attack squad. Needing a 3 and a 7. So that's a 5 and a 12. So that's going to be a small temp. Attacking the Squigoth, needing 2s to hit and 4s to wound. Let's see those 2s. Yep. So they're both going to hit and needing 4s to wound here. These are destroyer hits. That's going to be Destroyer, and he rerolls the wounds. So that's going to be 2 Destroyer hits, so 2 large tokens. 6 large tokens, which pretty much makes him dead because he's rolling on a D6 to save, and I don't think his save is high enough here. So we're just going to bypass the last Tac Marines and go into the final phase of the turn. Andrew has actually shown me this. The best Armored Teeth can buy basically means any of his Bad Moon units, or one of his Bad Moon units, can add 4 to the saving throws made for that unit. And apparently, the Giant Squigoth can be a Bad Moon unit. So while I thought I was safe in killing him, it looks like I'm not so safe in that one, and now he has got a 3 up save. So at the start of the damage phase, unfortunately, this Dread Knight is out of command range, so it is routed, and I just lose it. That was a really bad 2 large markers on the Thunderhawk, 5 up saves. And 5, 6 up saves against the Stompa. Go ahead and roll them.
Didn't make
nothing.
Didn't make
going to take now the Giant Gargantuan Squigoth has 6 3-up saves to make.
I'll do it right here.
Let's go ahead and roll. So when I see 1, 2, 3, 4, so only 2 go. Now one thing we forgot about last turn is to do some morale tests for anything that had a damage marker still left on it. Just reread that. So leadership 7, so the 2 markers, it's not going to do anything there. However, there was 5 markers on the Stompa, so Andrew's got to roll a d6 and add 5 to that compared against his leadership.
Oh yeah.
What is his leadership?
Oh, it's crap.
All right. Well, a 1 always passes. Where's that? Where's that?
It's right here in the corner.
Oh, that's cocked. Yeah. 3. So add 5, so it becomes 8.
8.
Is that enough to cause 1 more piece of damage?
Yes,
Easty is d6 plus 2.
He's fine.
Robbie G. Okay. 3 up saves. And
he takes a wound.
okay, so he's going to take a wound in one of those tokens, so he's going to have to do a morale, but he's leadership 8. He can't fail it. So he's Drago is going to attempt to save here. Oh, good grief. Attack squad has 2 6-up saves it needs to make. And it's going to fail both of them, take 2 damage, so it's
6-up
actually
save on
dead.
the Dominions.
Nope,
6-up
they're
save
dead.
on that squad.
Nope.
Actually, that's a 12-inch. That's only a small blast for them.
Oh.
It's a 12.
Oh, okay.
Just roll it.
No, they still fail.
5-up
So
save for the Canonists.
Nope. So,
How many wounds does she have?
she's
6-up
dead.
save on the Immolator.
Nope. Immolator is gone. 6-up saves on D6 for the Storm Raven. Nope. Storm Raven has
gone
one
too.
more, so 6-up save on a D12. And yeah,
Indian
that
squad
sounds
with
about
a
right.
large 6-up save. Nope. So
Immolator
that
squad
on
is
a
gone.
6-up.
Nope. So the
save
Immolator
on
is
the
going to be
Seraphim.
gone. Nope. So they are going to take damage. Now, thankfully, they have 10 in there. So they're just going to go down to
taking a
1.
morale test, but I don't think they can actually fail. D6 plus 1. I think they have leadership,
Leadership
7.
6,
I'm gonna
so
check
even
that.
with a +1 on there, still can't fail. So now I got the Tactical Marine Squad, so a 6-up save on a D12. All right. Hey, look, I actually passed a...
Okay, that's something at least.
Bullseye
So
has a
they
4
are-
save. Yeah, that looks about right. He's going to take a wound, of which he only has 1. Megadread needs a 6 to stay alive.
Roll a 5. So Mecha Dread's gone.
All right, so I killed something. Fantastic. I think that's the second unit I've actually killed, which is kind of
The
sad.
Battle Wagon is just going to take a piece of damage here because unfortunately his
And
saves
his
not
leadership
high
is only
enough.
5, so there is a chance that he might be taking another piece of damage here. So roll a d6. On a 4 or 5, so it just
Balloons are
matches.
gonna take
So
one
he's- wound because they can't pass that one. So, but they do have a 10-up save, and that will be a 10.
For Christ's sakes.
So they are at least going to take a morale save, though.
Yeah.
1, so they're actually leadership 5, so they're still fine.
Snark.
So we've got a d12 here.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I rolled a 7.
He is going to take some damage. And what's his leadership?
His leadership is 6.
Oh, okay, so he doesn't care about that morale save though.
No Biker is saving on a 7.
That's on an 8 actually. And what do we got? We got a 7. So they are going to take some damage and do a morale
Leadership
save.
5, so there is a chance they could take another wound here.
Oh, and they are. How many wounds total do they have?
They're dead.
All right. Okay, so that's 3 units for me.
To the 8 that you've taken out this turn alone. So I'm making some ground. 1 wound on the Storm Boys, and they can't save? Even on a small? Wait, what's their save
They can't
normally?
save. It needs a 10 though. So what does the Storm Boys do?
They're
Tank
safe.
Blasters are going to take a wound, and they're going to have to do a morale.
Just don't
save.
roll a 6 here, because they're leadership 6. So
Okay,
that
that's a
is
first
the
step.
end of the turn, turn 2 here. So we're going to go into turn 3, and turn 3 is pretty much going to be the deciding turn for us, I think. It has not been a good turn for the Imperium for sure. As I mentioned, Andrew has taken out 8 of my units this turn, not to mention the few that he's taken out prior to as well, and I've only gotten 3 of his. So anyway, you can see lots of damage tokens on the board here. Let's get some other ones here. So we're going to go into turn 3 and see where things go.